What's going on, guys? So finally it's 2J time. You know, it's time to finally start putting the 2JZ back together. And I mean, I've been sitting on this for a little bit because there's been a lot of other projects. Of course, you know, race cars home, so there's been a lot of work on that. But I think I have pretty much 99% of all the things that I need to put the 2J together. I've been acquiring pieces for the past like month or two. I mean, you know, sitting here we have rear main seal, front seal. We have, you know, everything for the oil pan. We got some Permatex, bearings, you know, pulleys are in there. I mean, I think everything is here. Everything is here that oh, let's not let this fall. Everything is here that need to get this together. So first thing, you know, we gotta start from the rear main seal. We're gonna start with the rear main seal. After the rear main seal, then we're gonna do the, I got this oil pump here. It's a PHR modified oil pump. So this is supposed to give you higher volume and oil efficiency. I mean, I did a lot of research on it before I actually picked this one up. Basically, it got like bigger ports to get more oil through, you know, this fire breathing dragon. So this is just a modified PHR oil pump. You know, you're gonna put a new JZ together, you might as well get a brand new oil pump. So we're gonna get that in there. That's gonna be second. We're gonna do the oil pump after we do the rear main seal. This is the old oil pump here. I mean, there's actually nothing really wrong with it besides just being a little bit dirty. But you know, the PHR one is a little bit more modified. The ports inside are a little bit bigger. So this one I'll get something off of it for eBay, right? If someone wants it, it's still worth something. Gotta recoup what I could recoup, right? Off of all this build, because you guys already know what this thing takes to actually build. So yeah, you know, let's get started with the rear main seal. Alright guys, I'm back 30 minutes later with the cover for the rear main seal, to mount the rear main seal. So I got it off, and one thing that you guys got to do whenever you do this, whenever you get this off, you got to make sure that this entire groove right here, make sure that entire groove is all cleaned out. I got the new main seal in. Looks good. You got to make sure is that it's flush. If you look at that, you got to make sure that it's sitting in there flush all the way around. It's very important, otherwise you could catch a leak. I just use this hammer here because the rear main seal is pretty tough. Just use the hammer and just bang around, you know, just bang around it, get it in there nice and tight. And now we're ready to go on. The other thing is, you have to make sure that you clean off your crank as well. Make sure the crank is clean. Make sure, you know, all the surrounding areas around the crank and the mounting area. Also the mounting, right where this is gonna mount, where the main seal is gonna mount. Make sure you clean off all of that as well. And once you clean off all that, then, you know, everything is nice and clean. We're ready to now. We're going to take this and we're going to fill this entire circle with this Permatex 1 minute gasket, the Right Stuff 1 minute gasket. Now I have black. Some people use black, some people use gray. I know factory, I believe they use gray because that was a little grayish. But the black, the gray, they both do the same thing. So whatever you like, go with that. But just make sure it's Permatex Right Stuff 1 minute gasket, 1 minute gasket maker. and you're good. Dielectric grease from Permatex as well. Just want to take some and go along the inside, just so this thing don't run dry. All right. So we got the grease on the inside there, and we got the gasket on the outside. All right, guys, so it is on, and that was not that fun, but you just want to make sure when you do this that the inner lip on the rear main seal, that it does not fold over. It's time to move to the front. We're gonna put the oil pump on. We got the oil pump here. We got the front, a brand new front main seal here. Gonna put this on as well. We got new washers, new O-ring washers. Those O-ring washers are gonna go right on here. I took the old ones out. Already. I'm gonna put the other one in there. Clean this up a little bit more, because you want to make sure you get all the old gasket maker out of there. So let's do that now. Alright guys, make sure that this is nice and flush with the body. There's actually supposed to be a small gap. I don't even know if you can see that on the camera, but there's supposed to be a small gap right behind the main seal, the front main seal, and the pump actually. And the gap is there, but camera does not want to show you guys that gap. But just, you know, inspect that that small gap is going all the way around the front. So now let's get our gasket maker. That looks good. Alright guys, so remember, some of you might remember when I was first taking this engine apart, I actually I labeled everything that I was taking apart. And it's a good thing I did this, and it's good practice for all you guys to do that, because I didn't know where the heck the bolts were for the oil pump. But it was labeled in my boxes, so now I got all the bolts ready to go. Alright guys, so now it's time to finally get your torque wrench out, and the manual have the oil pump bolts going in at 15 pounds. So I got it set at 15 pounds, locked in. So let's go. What I got next here, next thing I got is the pulley gear. Gonna get this little guide, little belt guide back on as well. Don't forget this little guy. Very easy to forget them. Throw that on. Then we got the crank sensor here. Just cleaned it up a little bit. Get that right back in its place. Let's get any debris off of it that's on it. You could just hand tighten this. There was no specific torque specs for that bolt or for the crank sensor. You don't need to go crazy. Just make sure it's snug tight. What I got next? Get this old O-ring out of here. This thing is so old you can't even tell it's an O-ring. Damn. Whew, shot. This is the oil pump O-ring, and man, it's dry rot to hell. Got my new O-ring here. Put a little bit of grease on it. I'm gonna torque these down. The torque spec for these bolts are 15 pounds as well. So I'm still set at 15. Just double check. Yep, still set at 15. So we're starting to look like something here, guys. We're starting to look like something. Starting to look like something. It's going back one piece at a time. We got the oil pump, water pump. We got the pulley on. Let's continue. I think it's time for the main ingredient. I think it's time we put on the head. Or the oil pan. I don't know. I could go either direction. Let me see what's next. Alright guys, so I mean, the engine is looking like something right now, finally. And as you can see here, I got it's actually fairly new oil pan that I purchased months ago. I had this thing for months, and I just took it out of the package, and because it's finally time for it to go on. But I realized I ran into a small little roadblock, and that roadblock is, it's not going to stop me from putting the pump on, but it's going to stop me from putting on one of the fittings that I have to put on. So right here is it's actually a hole that it's kind of like just pre-made there. It's like Toyota knew that this engine was supposed to have more power, so they kind of put this little provision here where you could drill it out, and it'll be like a return for the turbo. So I actually have this really nice looking, what's this from? ARZ. So it's an a 10. It's to fit a 10 fit in from the turbo coming back. And basically what happens is you know, you can see you got two holes on the side. It would go right there. It would go right there, and it would serve as a return. Now, I could drill the hole out, of which that's what I'm gonna do, but I don't have a tap to tap the two little screws, the bolt holes. I don't have a tap for that right now. I actually got to go out and get one tomorrow. One that will fit in there and that won't be too big for the holes on here as well. So, you know, I'll just drill that out, and then I could always tap it with the oil pan on the engine. So that's not going to be a problem to still get this on. So, yeah, I mean, let's get to it. I got all my bolts right here. You can see everything is lined up one by one. Everything is in order. So I'm just gonna get this together. I have the lower oil pan on the floor there. I'm gonna get this together and get this on the engine and just keep moving. Alright, so after about, I don't know, maybe about 15-20 minutes of working my step drill, I got a nice smooth hole. Nice smooth hole. Going through there. Flip this thing around. Ugh. It's kind of heavy. As you can see, hole comes down. It's nice, smooth, level down. Most of you guys are going to realize that most of the drill bit kits, they come with 1/2 inch max size drill bits, but this actually goes up to, I think, 3/4. This step drill goes up to drill bit goes up to 3/4. It's still a little bit hot, but this is what you're going to need to do the job. I mean, unless you're going to get a, I don't know, a 1-inch drill to go through that hole, but get a step drill because you're able to work this anyway, any direction you want it. So that's a little tip for you guys. So now, yeah, it's time to get this mounted. It's already all cleaned up. Get it mounted on the engine. Pull out this shiny little piece here. I like shiny anodized pieces, so you know that's gonna sit right there, just like that, for a nice AN10 fitting, a return line. And I'm just gonna get a tap that's these two holes right here, bolt it right on, be good to go. See, it already got the rubber seal in there. Let's continue. Let's keep making our way. Alright guys, this is all cleaned up. Now for this, I actually picked up some Toyota Seal Packing 103 FIPG. Now this is specifically for oil pan camshaft housing. Now I believe it's 100% the same thing as the Permatex, right, stuff, but I had ordered this a long time ago before I even had the Permatex anyway. So let's put the gasket on and let's get this on the engine. Here's the bottom back of the engine. This is the new washer. It's gonna go, gasket. It's gonna go right around there. Just gonna wipe all the rest of this off. I just actually took the plastic off that was covering this to keep it clean. So wipe this down. Then we're gonna get the oil pan on top. What's up, guys? Coming to you live from my phone now because my camera decided it wanted to die. When I was right in the middle of, I think I was torquing down the bolts for the oil pan for you guys. I'm not sure where I left off because I haven't quite edited this yet. So if you didn't hear me before, because I wasn't looking at the camera, you have 14mm bolts. You have 6 14mm bolts, and I think it's either 13 or 15 12mm bolts that goes on the oil pan, and these are torqued down to 15 pounds, and then the big 14 heads are torqued down to 29 pounds. I'm almost done. I gotta put the baffle on and the filter, and those go down I already have the gasket on here for the pickup. Those go down to 7.5 inch amount of torque. Basically, they go down to hand tight. Don't over tighten it. Don't turn into the Incredible Hulk on this one. So let me grab those spots. Where they at? They're around here somewhere. All right. Well, we got the first piece. We got this weird looking piece. I forgot how this thing even goes on. It looks so strange. I think I got it. All right, there we go. That's how it goes on. So let me get all the bolts for this little guy here. And do not do what I just did, which is drop a socket right down in the middle of the engine. Trusty magnet comes in handy. Alright guys, so yeah, these are really just hand tight because my torque wrench doesn't go as low as it needs to. But I mean, you know, just use a little bit of common knowledge, that's all. And you know, you'll get these nice and snug, each of those in there. So next thing, I think the last thing is, let me get actually before, let me get the lower oil pan on here, put a gasket seal on that. Gaskets on. Let's get this on the engine. Alright guys, so a little tip actually. I find if you hold your ratchet right at the head and you use your thumb, and you just use your thumb to apply pressure to these bolts here, since you don't have, you know, it's hard to get a torque wrench. This goes down to, I think, 7.5 inches of torque. You can actually tighten it to where this is enough. This is enough, you know, this is enough tightness to not over tighten it. Now, if you go to the end of your wrench, now you get too much leverage. But if you're up here, you could tighten it to where it doesn't move anymore. It gives you the right amount of torque. So, two little things I got left. Got this little magnetic drain plug here from Greddy. So, you know, pick up anything that falls in here from your first startup. Then my old flywheel cover was all shot, so I actually picked up a new one. That's right in there now. That looks good. We're gonna save this because this is actually still good. Let's just put our new, look at that, nice and magnetized. These are good to have. Nice and snug. That's it. We're done. Alright guys, so I hope you like, you know, how the JZ's coming together. I actually got a lot done today. I've been on this for a couple hours, but it's time to actually end this video here, because if I don't end it here and I continue on, this is gonna be way too long. So you know, we got the oil pump done, we got the oil pump, we got the rear main seal, we got the water pump, and we got the oil pan. And we got the oil pan all done, all sealed, all torqued down the spec. Everything looks good. And yeah, we're gonna call it a wrap here, guys. Listen, obviously, as you know, there's gonna be a lot more of this JZ build. For the next video with this JZ build, we're gonna be putting the head on. So I'm gonna put the head on, the valve covers, I'll show you the valve covers. Those are all nice and painted. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on going, because like I said, I have everything now. So it's just a matter of when I have time to get on the build. But I love the progress that I already made today. Guys, subscribe, like this video, share your thoughts and comments or anything else with me, and stick around. Thank you for watching, guys. Peace.